Mm, mm. What up, class? Good gracious, I feel like I'm living on a stupid thing. What up, class? What up? I'm just hanging out with my brother tonight. We're gonna be just talking about business and entrepreneurship and all that crap. But before, my brother said he needs a few minutes to come back on, so I wanted to briefly talk to you about a million questions that come in. I just want to go over some questions with you so you can see what goes on. I'm gonna go over some questions with you, class. First of all, I love you. You know I love you. I live for it. I live for this. Let's make a movie. I'll take these socks off. Stupid. Getting hot. Give me a second, class. Let me take my socks off. This. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Man, this is so cool. I get to hang out with you at any time I want. Class, good evening. Tonight I'm gonna be hanging out with my brother, so I wanted to just talk to you briefly. He told me he needed a few minutes to get ready. But I'm just in the bed chilling. I had an aunt move on to the afterlife today, so it's been a sad day. We're gonna pray for her immediate family, and I'm gonna go end up going to visit her immediate family over the weekend. So pray for us as we are in a time of mourning, class. Thank you. Any prayers will be greatly appreciated. All right. Class, what up? I'm gonna real quickly go over some quick questions that I got in out of the million that came. I'm gonna go over a few out of the million. Somebody emailed me and screamed at your boy. Beezer wanted to know she wants to know when you're doing wholesale projects, will there be a point that someone would ask you for a proof of funds? This is a real legitimate question, Beezer. Great question, I'm sure. It it pertains to a lot of peeps wholesaling at this stage of my life. We just give them a bank statement, but sometimes you don't have all the money. Even me, I don't have all the money. If I'm making an offer at 150, I might have three of them going out. So yes, you need a proof of funds from some type of a lender, or we provide a proof of funds for you, or you can just use an online source, whatever you. Yeah, if you got somebody online, the bank usually the people that want a proof of funds is like a bank or some type of institution, and they don't care where it comes from. If you're just starting out, you might have limited funds. Yeah, just do it. You can use a paid service with that Beezer. I don't mind that. Or I will supply a POF for all my inner circle members. Got another question, Dominique. Her mother's going to be giving her money from a 401k. Hmm. I don't know what you should do with that money. I need to know. I can't answer that. I need to know more about that because I don't know your expertise. Oh shoot, Run Joe, you need the lease option documents? Okay, sorry. I'll email them to you after this. Class, hey, I'm just hanging out. My brother will be back in a few minutes. I am going to be going over a few of the million questions that come in. Hey Chris, this is for T. Thanks so much for pouring into us. You are welker. I gotta get my Medea on. You worker. Look at this came from Ron LeGrand's quick start. This big sheet. This thing is crazy. Then a couple questions. When a property goes under contract, does the contract have to be in the land trust name? Yes. Yes. Tunstall, absolutely. If you're buying, let's say this is your contract, right? Class, Tunstall. If this is your purchase and sale agreement, you need to have 1, 2, 3 trusts as the buyer. Yes, or you can put Chris Haskins and or nominees. We don't even use and or signs. We use and or nominees. That's worth the training tonight. I don't use and or signs anymore. And or nominees. I'm gonna do a class on assignments though. Yes, the trust name needs to be on the contract. Next, if the trustee's address is the only address listed, where does the mail for the property go to? And what address is used for public record? Good question, Tunstall. Yeah, the trustee's address is the trust address, Tunstall. So they're one and the same. So make sure your trustee isn't a person that's moving around a lot. I hope. Well, it don't matter. You can do that. Last, when the property is sold, who is the check made payable to? Typically, you can make it payable to whoever you want. I've had some attorneys on the buyer side be a stickler to making it payable to the trustee. So you have to give it to the trustee and deposit it. Yeah, hopefully you have a trust. I got one now that where the attorney. You know what I've done? I've had the buyer's side make the check payable to my title company, and then my title company make it payable to me. I've done that too. Just people just I don't know, man. They want to be difficult, right? C. N. Jurin on the warranty deed that I provided with the land trust. Who's the grantor? The grantor class. Don't forget, grant OR, always OR, is the person giving something, the homeowner. All right. So let's say, for instance, with your land trust, if you are trying to put your personal property from your name into your trust, you're the grantor, granting it into the trust. If you're selling your house to somebody else, or if you're buying, then the seller is the grantor. All right, got that? See, Androrin? I don't know where you're from. The seller never sees these docs. No, seller will not see your land trust docs. It goes from my LLC as the buyer on the docs. Yep, and the seller signs. That's right. Do you do this with your attorney after the original seller leaves? No, they never see your deed. They never see your land trust. See, Andrew. I wouldn't worry about that. They never see that. I'm gonna do some Q and A before my brother comes on real estiznate, real stizzy. Good Lord, a million emails. I'm so blessed. Thank you, God, giving me this opportunity. I am looking now for questions as I go through a million emails. I don't even know where to start. I talked to a guy today in West Virginia. Virginia. Rents up there $500. That is just crazy, man. That's crazy. I couldn't imagine having rent $500. All right, I'm looking here. Um, Shoot, I can't even get all of. If you guys have any questions, I'll run them real quick. Thank you for your prayers, TV sweetie. My aunt moved on to the afterlife today. It was sad, but we do what we must. We do what we must. REI necessities. What's good, Derek? What up, dog? Good seeing you, dog. Frank, can I loan you some money? I don't. I don't know. It all depends on what you got. If you got some equity, yeah. If you want some money to buy some consumable goods, I ain't your boy for that. I don't do that. Thank you, Angela. Oh, I'm leaving this Saturday, Dominic. I'm going with my family this weekend. I do this to get my mind off of stuff. Any questions you got? Oh yeah, give me a thumbs up. Jamal, what up, Dukes? After getting a property under contract with a seller, should I open title or have the end buyer do it? Okay, Jamal, I'm presuming you're going to be wholesaling it. It all depends. If it's got multiple sellers on it, I would definitely pay for a title search because I don't want to waste my time marketing, looking for a buyer, going through the motions, getting the down payment. I mean, and a non-refundable deposit, selling it to a cash buyer, then wait 2 weeks for him to do his title search, and then the stuff come back not good. It's like I want that title search done now, so get it over with. Go ahead and pay $100. But I wanted to talk to you too. I had another before I move on to Derek. You got that memorandum of lease? Yeah, I want to talk about that too. I had a question about a wholesale and a short sale. This is from Ed. He wants to know about flipping a short sale. Okay, last time we spoke was your pre-foreclosure. All right, he's looking at pre-foreclosure. Does the property need to be currently listed with a listing agent in order for the short sale to happen? No, it was listed before. Okay, I would like to flip. Yeah, we can't flip. We don't flip. I want to talk to you about wholesaling short sales. In my opinion, I think the banks are going to call this fraud class. Think about it like this: wholesaling a short sale, right? Here's your house. Class, here's your house, right? When that offer comes in, the bank is saying this. Let's say you make 50,000. Let's say you offer 50,000, the seller takes 50, they send it over to the bank. The bank is looking at that class. 50,000 is the fair market value. So if you go and do a slimy flip behind the back door under a trust or LLC, flip it before you buy it for 70,000, in my opinion, I think they're going to look at that as fraud, and I'm actually going to get Jessica to speak on this. I already sent her a text message literally tonight. See if I can get her to cover this. Is wholesaling short sales legal? But I don't think it's going to be legal. Matter of fact, one of my mentors buys short sales, closes on them, and does some type of repairs. Ed, I don't want you flipping whole short sales unless you do any. I want you doing work to them. So when you buy it, let me rewind. When you get a short sale approved, say this is your house, right? The bank is going to say whatever price you're buying it at, that is fair market value. And in order for you to squeeze some more value out of that, in my opinion, I think that's going to be considered. It can be misconstrued as fraud. I am under the premise that I buy and sell whatever the hell I want to, right? Because I'm an entrepreneur. But unfortunately, we got the government, and they just don't play by the same rules. They have all these steps. If you buy the house for 50, then they're thinking that, listen, this house is worth 50. You can't get any more value out of it. Well, my thought says, look, I'm buying it for 50. If I don't want to buy it, I'm going to sell it to somebody else for 70. I think I should be able to do that. But no, I know I read on Mortgage Fraud Blog. I'm going to find it somewhere. I read where some boys got indicted for that, trying to squeeze value out of a house before they before they closed on it. So, if you're trying to flip wholesales, got the house under contract, close on it, do some repairs. I don't care if it's windows, flooring, electrical painted. Bring up the value, then sell it 30 days, 40 days later. Derek, North Carolina requires a memorandum of option for lease option. That's right. Yeah, I heard about that. Do you have to record the leasee and leaseor? Do you make the land trust the leasee or the leaseor? Leasor or trustee? Do you make the land trust the leaseor? That's a great question, Derek. I know you grinding. Gotta have that memorandum. Do you have to record I don't know. Derek, that's above me, man. I do not know this crap y'all doing down in North Carolina. I remember the man Jay Connor talking about that last week. I heard him say that. Lady T. Hey, I appreciate my videos. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. I'm here to serve. That's all I do is serve. I serve until we die. Do I need to create my LLC first before I buy my business home to write off? Your business home? What in the world? Lady T? What's a business home? I don't know what that is. Are you talking about your owner occupant home? But you don't need an LLC to write off stuff. If I had to answer that, Lady T, you don't need an LLC to write off stuff. But I would definitely recommend you get one based on the conversation that I had with Kenji. Go back to my earlier video today. One of my lenders is like an accountant up in, I don't know if he's an accountant or not, but he does taxes. But he said that you need to have your LLC or your INC set up. TB Sweetie, hey, can you use a minor as a trustee? I do not know. You know what? I would ask Jessica. That's a good question for attorney time tomorrow at 3 o'clock, TB Sweetie. She'll know. I will ask her tomorrow about that. Let me make a note of that. Golly. Oh, I got my little notepad right here. Can the minor be a trustee? I'll make a note right now, TB Sweetie. Okay. TB Sweetie, I got you for tomorrow. King Simba, hey, you are a big fan of my content. Well, God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. My ministry, my mission, my quest is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. So hopefully that'll help you. Hey, my brother.
What's up, man?
Just got a million questions already, just going over.
I haven't shaved since Friday.
That's cool.
That's all I can grow. Oh man, dude. How you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Cool.
1 second, brother. I have a deal. I was in the middle of a thing. King Simba, I have a deal that should be closing soon. Any chance we can set up a one-on-one in the near future if I were to sign up for your course? King Simba, if you want to do right now, only thing I'm offering, man, just for time, are one-time consultations. And if you look in the video description, you can see my email. I'll put my brother's too. King Simba. It's a cool name, my friend. Ronnie, what's your email?
Ronnie at RonnieHaskins.com.
I need to get me a vanity email.
They're free, man.
hmm King Simba, just shoot me an email. We'll get you set up on a one-time consultation. And then after that, I'll take a look what you got. Then I have a flat joining fee for my inner circle. And then it's $99 a month, my friend. All right, we'll get back to the Q&A at the end, Ronnie. How you doing, brother?
Good, dude.
You're looking good as usual.
Please. I haven't even taken a shower yet.
Oh,
Been
Lord.
driving, man. We were up in the mountains skiing.
What mountains were you at?
Um, they have it's in Vail, Vail, Beaver Creek. We were skiing actually the Beaver Creek Mountain. But it's like it's a there's like three resorts back to back to back: Breckenridge, Vail, and then Beaver Creek. And we're at Beaver Creek.
Sounds
Super
fun.
cool, man.
So you didn't work this week at all?
I worked. The team was working on units, and car deals, and we're talking on the phone a little bit. But most of the week, I've just been skiing.
Nice. So yeah, man, I wanted to reach out to you, my brother, and just see what's going on new in business and share with you what's going on in my side. But I did want to ask my Roundup family to pray for us as we go through this time of mourning.
Yeah, Carolyn, God rest her soul.
Hmm. It's really sad. Part of life, you know? Part of life.
It's an unfortunate part of life, but yeah,
You know?
that's what it is, man. It's not cool.
So I'll be going up there, Ronnie. Mom is already up there. She left.
Yeah,
Can't believe it. I cannot believe Mom. When she called me, she's on the road. I'm like, Mom on the road?
Dad is lucky, man, because she said that he wasn't feeling good and didn't want to leave, but he's lucky that he went ahead and went because Mom got there in time to see her before she passed.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Wow, that is something. I'm glad. I want to get the story. I don't even know anything. I know nothing.
This is a flirkin. She's licking me to death, wearing me to death.
Oh my lord.
So what's going on, man? What's new? What y'all talking about tonight?
Man, I was talking about Ronnie. So much stuff, dude. I got notes over here. Let me get my little notepad because I was listening to some audio. Man, I was listening to my Tony Robbins and my Earl Nightingale. He was talking about our physiology, like our body, when something happens that's traumatic, right? I was thinking about when that girl hit me the other day with my car.
Oh yeah.
I'm like trying to determine how am I gonna handle this? And he was saying it's okay not to react instantly. It's okay to just think about how you're gonna react, you know?
Yeah, that's a learned skill, bro. Damn, cat. That's a learned skill. Reaction is our human nature. We want to react immediately. But
Hmm.
what I found and what you're probably finding is that the longer you take to process information, the answers seem to change and the solutions seem to come, and they're a lot better.
Oh my lord, yeah, man. So I did a deal last year, and the contractor that I hired is getting sued for doing the work.
What?
Yeah, long story, man. So I'm like, I'm seeing how this dude, he's getting sued for a lot of money. And the way he's handling it, he's like, he got the letter from the attorney last week. He's like, man, I'll call him in a few days. I need to think
Really?
about. I'm like, damn, this dude, he's so world class, man.
Yeah,
Not
he
even.
wants to take a few days just to process it, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
I'd have been like, shit, attorney, call him. You know.
That's a reaction.
Well, yeah,
That's not, what's a
proact.
better word for it?
I need to be proactive instead of reactive.
Proactive instead of reactive. I like that.
Hmm. Learn how to do that stuff. So yeah, I got a deal, two deals closing this coming week. We got. I wish I could just have my camera on all day. Y'all could see all the. I'm trying not to curse. All the crap that goes into dealing with the inspector, the termite moisture, and the homeowner. It's a big pile of dookie.
You sound like you don't like it anymore.
I don't mind real estate. It's just a way to make money, you know. But um, I mean, they just want everything. They want this, they want that. So we went over there today and dealing with. Once again, man, I have to be a master. You got to be a chameleon, right? I got to be a chameleon. I found that like good business dudes, they can mirror. Tony Robbins also talks about that mirroring. Like I can't be stressed when I'm talking to a worker or a contractor because that energy is gonna go right on them.
You kind of, whatever your energy is, it kind of reflects back to you.
Hmm.
Is that what you're talking about? Like if you amp up or if you're
Yeah,
nonchalant or whatever, like whatever you do, everybody else kind of
that's
falls in
right.
line. So you answer the phone like this.
There you go. Answer phone. How can I help you? How can I help you? So we had a problem with some moisture damage under the house, and the dude's going crazy, like, "Well, we gotta get it done by tomorrow," and da da da. Give you a letter. I'm like, man, if it ain't done by tomorrow, my friend, it's not done. And I can't change it. You know.
Yeah, a lot of times people want their lack of planning to constitute an emergency for me.
Hmm.
And that's just difficult to swallow, man. You want to accommodate clients as much as you can, but you can't just jump through hoops all the time.
Hmm. I can say myself in 10 years, like, man, just call my assistant. I don't even want to hear it. You know,
You want to
certain
know what I
things.
learned this week?
Yeah, brother, I want to hear what you learned. I thought, oh, you learned stuff not even in the office.
I think that building a team is there's some like what are the benefits? Having everybody thinks you get more salespeople, you sell more stuff. Okay, those are some good benefits. But this week, my team they are thinking. Like it's a collective thinking. Like I can only do so much with my brain. I can only take it so far without having exterior things come in to get my thinking to change or get my mind to expand. But when you have a good team, you have a problem and then you have a solution and to have a collective thinking about that solution is just magical, man. Like these guys are coming up with solutions that I didn't even think of. You know what I mean? Like I don't need to
Yep.
come up with the answers. I don't need to always have it my way. I think it's just amazing that I've got good people around me that come up with really good answers, you know.
Well, Napoleon Hill calls it a mastermind.
Yeah. Um, I was afraid of it for a long time because I just like having my business the way I want to have it, but I can't grow anymore.
I can't.
I can't grow anymore by myself.
Nope. You gotta. I was doing an interview with my friend the other day. In order for you to make more money, you gotta have more people working around you.
Period.
Period, dude. Period. That's a crazy ass statement, dude. But that is a reality that is you can't deny it. You can only do so much shit in 8 hours.
Yeah. I just think it's crazy that they're coming up with solutions that I didn't even think of. I'm like,
They
how did
might
you
be
come up
bet.
with that answer?
They
You
might be
know,
better than you, and I'm like,
that's what I'm
they're
saying.
better than you, dude. I'm like, you're better. You're better than
Both of the
me.
new people on my team both have master's degrees. So they're
Oh my
smart people,
god.
man.
Hmm.
Super smart, you know? And I'm
Pretty.
just like, okay, it's a good idea. Let's do it. Let's try it.
Let's do it. Realist. Thank you, dog. Realist is such a supporter of the channel. Thanks, Realist.
Realist. What's up, realist?
This dude is no joke, man. We gotta bring him on here one day. We wilding out.
Didn't you ask him on? When you coming on live, realist?
All right. So, anything else you learn, my brother? So you learned about people. I was reading my book. The less I do, the more I make. He says people better than me. I used to think I was really good at what I do, but I'm like, man, people a lot better than me out there.
I think that another thing I learned this week is like about my kids. Like we're in a what they call a ski in resort. So when we walk out of our room, you walk like 20 yards to the ski lift. Like it's right there. And the kids are just getting a little bit older and they're like, Dad, I want to go back to the room. You know, and my initial thought is, well, somebody needs to go with you. But we trusted him. He went to the room. He ended up clogging up the stool,
Oh
doing
Lord,
all kinds of stuff. But the magic was when we got back to the room, he had cleaned it up. He had started the laundry. He was working on stuff. I'm like,
nice.
he's learning a lot of lessons, of taking
Hmm.
responsibility for himself. So as parents, I think we just need to trust him a little bit. Like, okay,
Hmm.
you go ahead and make a few mistakes. You keep those mistakes in a box if you can, but you can't just always be on top of them, man. You got to let them
Yeah,
go a little bit.
I think every time my daughter wants to listen to some music, I'd be like, I don't want to hear that crap, but I keep thinking about dad. Gotta let
We
him
always
go,
listen to
man.
jazz, 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 jazz all the time.
Yep. I didn't even know music had words until I went to college.
I know, right? It was just jazz.
Well, that's cool, man. You gotta let them go, huh? It's kind of like employee. You gotta let them go.
You gotta let them thrive,
I
and
think
they'll
it's
surprise you.
a big similarity to people working with you and children. It's a big similarity because it's like you always want to micromanage,
Yeah,
but ultimately they'll figure it out.
yeah.
You know.
So what was up with this Ron LeGrand thing?
Oh, I mean, he's just a real estate guru. I'm just trying to. My goal this year is to keep my continuing education jumping.
Okay,
So he's been doing it since the '80s, Ronnie. I mean, the dude is. He's like, man, I'm just too rich and grumpy to be dealing with any BS.
really?
This is he. Anyway, yeah, the man is multi millionaire.
Wow. And you got to learn. Did you get to meet him and shake his hand?
Yeah, I went to one, two, three of his trainings so far in the last 4 months.
Really?
Yeah, he's getting $38,000 per coaching client. And I'm like, man, these people don't even pay me $1,000. He getting 38,000.
So you practice what you preach, though. You go
There
out and
you
get
go.
training yourself.
Yes, you gotta stay
Hmm.
on top of it, and it really works. It
Yeah.
really works. How about you, dude?
What's the big takeaway for you from that weekend?
From this one,
Hmm.
mm, my big takeaway on this one was, I love real estate, but with today's systems and the virtual assistants and this whole internet boom and mobile marketing,
Yeah.
then these people have. You just imagine a meat grinder. They got they got people in other countries making calls 24 hours a day, right? Like this,
Wow.
grinding in leads all day, just
It's
grinding them.
systems, tools, and people.
Hmm. Systems, man, they just making calls whether you. I'm 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 just trying to figure out. I love real estate, but I mean, I really love the internet too. So I'm really thinking. I mean, I feel like my life is backwards, Ronnie. I did real estate first, and then now I'm doing other things as opposed to most people run a business, then they get into real estate.
Yeah, you jumped right in it with 2 feet.
Yeah.
We were looking into buying one of these daggone condos up there, dude. They're flat out crazy. They start at 795.
You're talking about to
But
buy it and rent it out for the rest of the year?
yeah, I only use it 2 weeks out of the year. But these
Hmm.
things, what do you think, honey? 2 grand a week, dude, is what they're more than that. Probably like 3 grand a week because it's like, but at least 300 a day. And so,
Hmm.
but then you can just go use it whenever you want
Yep.
and just manage the rest of the time, just making money.
Yeah, that's nice. I think that's a good deal. It'd be even better if you get a subject too.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can
Not
get.
many people just dressed up there.
Well, I don't know. I don't know the market. I'm sure somebody's lost a job somewhere though.
You
You
think?
can get. I don't know. I had to look at it.
You know what's crazy about that, man? We were in the hot tub, right? And everybody's like, where y'all from? We're like Colorado Springs, which is like 2.5 hours away from the resort. Nobody else from Colorado. People from Texas,
Oh wow.
Tennessee, Massachusetts, New Hampshire. Where else? North Carolina. A lot of Carolina people. Like, we forget it's like a destination, man. It's like world class skiing,
Hmm.
So I was
That's
just blown
cool.
away by all
You
the
got a
people that were around.
you got a clip you can bring up from your laptop on some skiing?
Uh, Let me see if I can share the video of Brinny. That video was crazy, man. I'm on my phone right now. I can't get it to switch to the
Oh
computer.
no, I won't do that. Class, you can throw
But
your Q and A's real quick. We'll do Q and A's at the end.
oh, I got a question for you. So we're thinking Disney in 2020. Is
Yeah, I'm
that
in.
what we're thinking? Fall 2020. Like you said that the best weekend to go is Halloween.
Well, not that. I wouldn't go that weekend, but they have Halloween from September 15th to the 31st of October.
But we're thinking about coming down because Brenny's never been. So we're thinking about coming there. And the reason why we picked that year is because, this year is just too much gymnastic stuff. But next fall they won't have it, so we can come down in the fall.
I'm in. I mean, we're at Disney. I'm there. I mean, every year. It's crazy.
Well, we want to join your for 2020.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Not a
in with that.
cruise. We want to go do the small world, the castle, let her go through the whole thing.
Wow. You're gonna love it. You're gonna
Yeah.
love it. Okay, yeah, let's do that. I'm in with that.
All right. I know we need to talk to Princess though. So we'll do
Yeah.
that.
Well, they usually have a time where they open up. You get this when you book it, you can get food included.
Okay.
So really, that saves you like $1,000.
All inclusive? That's nice.
It is cool. Yeah, they do it every year. They open up. It's like 1 week where you gotta do this shit, Ronnie. Like they'll send you an email.
And you just buy it.
No, last time the whole website just crashed.
Really?
The Disney website crashed because
Wow.
everybody's trying to log in and get the best rooms and stuff.
Okay.
So, but yeah, anything else you learned, man, or we would like to share to our viewers today, my brother, as we get to 2.5 million views, almost there.
I think I was just really, really focused on. Oh, well, I'll share this with you. I've been building my business for 19 years. Sometimes with people, sometimes by myself, sometimes with the team. But I think that my mindset had got so stuck on what can't be done. Like these folks can't do what I do. And so remember, we go back to the beginning of 19, and I was thinking about don't focus on what can't be done. Just think about what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I've brought these new people into my business, it has just expanded it so much because of just those two thought processes. Stop worrying about what can't be done. Just focus on what we can affect. Whether it's just putting 25 cents away, you can do that. So
Oh
you just
man,
start doing it. And then before you know it, it piles up and you've got 75 cents.
yeah.
So that's just been like on my mind for the past 2 or 3 days. Even while I was skiing, I'm like, wow, I can
Right.
do that. I can focus on that.
Yeah. Who the hell are you to say what somebody else can't do?
Exactly.
You
I
know what,
mean,
though,
because
Ronnie? Go ahead.
you know what I mean? Like,
I'll
even
tell you.
like, I'll give you a good example. Like David, my new guy, he was like, I'm going to talk to these people about this car. And in my mind, I was like, that ain't going, that's crazy. Not what they're looking for. I was like, but I stopped myself before I said anything. And I said, you know what? It's a good idea. Give it a shot. We'll talk about it tomorrow. The next
Hmm.
day, he called me back at a closed deal. I was like,
Holy cow!
I was
Really?
like, man,
Who was
I
he?
didn't even think about that solution,
What was he gonna do? What did he do, real quick?
It was just like these folks had one thing in mind for their car, and he offered them something completely different. And everybody was super happy with the outcome. And it was just something that I didn't think about. I just didn't even think about it. So
Wow.
I think having a team around you guys when you're building your real estate empires or building whatever businesses you're working on, getting good people around you is
It's just
like
paramount, dog.
way up there on the top.
It's paramount, man. And, it's not only the things that you discuss, it's the body language, it's the lunch. When you go to lunch, it's the little ideas, the philosophies that you trade.
The energy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Good God, I wish I could stress that to people.
I
I can
keep
bring
talking
you
to you
there.
about it. I'm like your team, whether it be for the internet or for the real
Hmm.
estate, like how do we grow it? Like maybe I should join the team, like manage VAs or something, like manage phone calls, whatever. Like, how
Yeah,
do we build your team?
that's a good question. Man. My thing is, my goals have been so small, Ronnie. When I
I
look
know,
back,
right? Yeah, I feel you.
I'm like, I want to pay one house off. I remember it now. I'm like, keep telling my wife, I'm like, damn, we did that shit. It's like almost, it's literally. I feel like I'm so embarrassed that my goals were so little.
Yeah.
You know, I remember telling myself I just want to make another $600 a month. I just want to make six. Now it's like, dude, you make X. You know, you can make more than that in an hour. And it's like, I'm embarrassed, dude. But even what you're saying, I need to figure out. My goals are to be able to laser focus on goals, Ronnie. It's challenging for me. I've been so laser point on one thing,
Yeah.
paying off this one house, you know, and that's done. And it's like now I feel like, what do I do next, man? What do you
There's a
do?
big lesson in that though. You have to be laser focused in your business, but you also can't be paralyzed. You've got
Hmm.
to, and so you set those goals out. You set out 5 goals just for April, you know, set up the VAs, set up this, or this, and that's it. You stay laser focused. Then you have 5 things you're working on for the month. That's it. At least that's what works for me. I
Yeah.
can't take on more than 5 at a time
Six
because I
total.
start drowning, you know?
Well, I have different focuses, man. I'm not really necessarily, and I'm going to these real estate trainings, Ronnie, but I'm not really trying to grow this massive real estate machine per se,
Hmm.
because I really enjoy coaching and training. I mean, I'm going to do X amount of deals a year by default, you know, but
Hmm.
I enjoy like having products and seeing, like, I get emails. God, Ronnie, people email me, thank you for introducing me to subject to or lease option, you know, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I think that when I think about you and that type of stuff, it's like the real estate got you in front of the camera,
Hmm.
you know? Or- people want to do, I was talking about this today, last week too, that people want to do what they love because they feel like they're not working. But I think I was challenged on this. Like, I love what I do, right? But I don't think I always loved it. I think I got good at it
Hmm.
and figured out a way to make money doing it. And then I fell in love with it.
You didn't like it at first. It was hard.
It was hard,
Yeah.
but
Same
the
thing for
hard
me.
stuff is always what brings the dollars. The
The
easy
hard.
stuff, the easy stuff is great if they're paying,
Yeah. So
but
you weren't good at it. You didn't love it. You know what? They told me that in college. The man was like, "How many people do you know that does something really well, but they hate it? Just doesn't exist."
you'd be surprised, man. Barry Sanders,
What?
one of the best running backs of all time, freaking hated it. Sugar
Really?
Ray Leonard used to cry after his fights because his hands hurt. Like they
I mean,
learned to love. They mastered it. They mastered it.
yeah.
Then they fell in love with it.
Hmm.
So you got these two things going on with the internet and with real estate. I think for me, I think your real estate business should be running on autopilot.
Basically, should
So
be.
spend a year building it.
Yeah, it should be. It's like the more time I focus on. Anyway, the real estate, it's not on autopilot, but it's, you know, it ain't. Yeah, because it's all about people, right? Just people. I gotta hire more people.
Yeah,
Period. It boils down to hiring more competent people, dog.
I did as much business as I could possibly do by myself.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
And I was happy with the results. I was really happy with the results. But the goals were this big. So
there
like
you go.
the $10 million goals, the $30,000 a month take home money is only available with the team,
Yeah, impossible. Yeah, no way. Impossible with one
you
person.
know?
So yeah, man. Wow. I mean, you just said something about the people around you. You said, what did you say 5 minutes ago? Same thing Tony Robbins said. I've been listening to Tony. Setting goals, 30-day goals. Is that what you said?
No, well, you have your laser focus is you've been focusing on real estate, right? That's your laser focus. But then you set down, you got to have goals to propel you to that goal. So every month, or every quarter, you just pick 5. It's like we're going to master VAs in April. We're going to do 300 phone calls. And so that's it. We don't need to worry about this and that and all these other things. It's just one thing. And so or five things, you know. So, but like that's it. The small goals always lead to the big goal. They always have to be facing the same direction.
Yeah.
Because if not, they pull you in many, many, many directions, you know.
Hmm.
You can't look in all the treasure chests looking for gold. You know, you gotta keep digging.
A few. Hmm. All right, my brother. That's all I really had. I got a million questions here and cut down on anything interesting in the car world regarding taxes. I had a conversation with one of my clients. He does taxes in New Jersey, and he was saying, man, people. He's saying how his people that he represents around, they usually have a return and then they go get a car. And he was like,
Yeah.
ain't happening this year.
Why aren't they doing that?
He said the tax laws are changing for employees.
Yeah. I don't usually do a lot of that tax business, but I'm telling you, man, this tax stuff is going to be interesting.
Yeah, man.
Um, because I don't think people are going to get the money back that they're expecting to get back.
He said, man, there's one dude, he's been getting 6,000 for the last 8 years. This year he got 1,900 back.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I
So,
think
but
it's
he said it was employee. He said the new tax code is owner friendly.
I think I'm gonna be fine, but I think
Yeah,
but how's that going to ripple across the economy?
yeah, you're right.
Whether
We're
you believe it's
interdependent.
right or wrong for them to blow that money on a car, I don't care if they buy a car, but I'm just saying, like all of those lost dollars of spending because they
Yeah,
just don't have the extra $2,000 or $3,000 it's gonna take a toll.
you're damn right, Ronnie. You're damn
It's gonna
right.
take a toll. Oh, I'll
Rents.
tell you, 90 about 9,000. Not, I'm sorry, about 8 million people are 90 days behind on their car notes in America.
No. Okay.
About 8 million people.
Wow, man.
Why do you think that is? I mean, what the hell, man?
I think they're waiting for their tax return to get caught up, dog.
Really?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
That's crazy. I thought this was like not some happens. This was like the Wall Street Journal, man. They pushed out this big article on it. 90 days behind.
Holy cow. Wow. A lot. I need to see how many people are behind on mortgages. Shit. Probably more than that.
You think so?
I mean, people losing houses, dude. I mean, anyway, yeah, they're losing houses every day.
Hmm,
Every day.
that's crazy, man.
All right, man. Well, anything else? I'm going to go over some questions, brother.
Go ahead, man. I'm good, man. I'm just sitting here chilling out. I've been on the road all day. I'm relaxing.
My brother, thank you for hanging out with us. Class, if you like the content, hit the thumbs up. Let's do some Q&A.
All right.
Nellie Nell Rockwell. Hey, how long do I have before I have to record the deed after I purchase my house? You better record it immediately. You better record it immediately because you don't want somebody else uh, putting something on your seller's name. Rod, you emailed me twice. Sorry about that, Rod. I'll get back to you, my friend. I've been a little crazy this week, my aunt and everything. Thank you for your prayers, Bridget. Daniel, the house I went to look at today, the guy wanted. It was a two-bedroom in Norfolk. He said he could get $1,200 of rent. I thought he could maybe get 600, so we'll make an offer and keep moving. Truly
Hmm.
gifted. We're talking about wholesaling short sales. Yes, I don't think you should do that. It should not be fraud if you mark it up. But they're calling it fraud, is what I think. Daniel, I don't know anything about interest rates. T Outlaw is saying that your trustee has to be 18 years or older for your land trust. I'm not sure. Tunstall, can you get the PMI? I'm thinking that's private mortgage insurance
Mm-hmm.
that mentioned the corporation tax info on as a guest. I don't understand that. Maybe my brother. Can you get
What's
the
the question?
Can you get the PMI that I mentioned that was mentioned the corporation tax info? I don't know about that one.
I don't understand the question.
Me
Property
neither.
mortgage insurance is personal houses.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Unless you're talking about a different PMO.
Hmm.
Dominic Cryer. Hey, my friend. After doing a wholesale, okay. If there's enough money made on the deal, would you recommend buying property and doing a rental, or do you need to do more wholesaling? Dominic, if I were you, well, see, the problem is, okay, class, real estate, just like my brother, I'm sure he's going to say about cars, it is person specific, person specific. If you don't have no cash flow, I don't want you buying no houses. You got cash
Yeah.
flow, buy some houses.
Did they
But
understand what that means? The cash flow.
no, you can explain it.
The way I take what you're just saying is, you know, you can't buy, like, people want to do deals. They see deals, right? They're like, I buy a rental property, I rent it out, then I have cash flow. Like, you have to have cash flow before you rent it out. You have to be able to pay for that house for 6 months with no renter.
Yep,
And trust me, the reason why I know this is because we did it the way he's talking about doing it. We did it the wrong way.
me
In
too.
'06, when the market was going through the roof, we're like,
Hmm.
buy another one. We'll be fine. And then no rent for months. And we had to figure out a way to continue to make those payments. And so it's funny nowadays, Chris, our renter, sent us a check and be like, it's 300 short or 800 short or whatever. And you're like,
Yeah.
whatever, we'll talk to her later.
Mm.
It's probably very bad business. We need to do a better job of that. But because of cash flow, it frees up things that it's not so stressful, So,
Yep,
um, but yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Get your
that's
cash
it.
flow straight first, where you're cash flowing enough to make that mortgage payment,
Yes.
just like you didn't have a renter, and then be able to get that renter and make those payments. That would be better for you. Because another thing that'll happen to you, we just spent 4,500 on a house out here, carpet, furnace, whatever. There's so many potholes that you can fall into real quickly.
Yep. Good God. Even if you do lease options like me, you gotta kick people out, and you might have to do some repairs. But Dominic, please get your cash flow up. I learned that from Ron LeGrand, man. Get your today's cash flow needs satisfied first.
Hmm. And that should include paying yourself. Like, it should include emergency fund.
Yeah.
Like, you're putting away 300 a month into an
What's your?
account that's gaining interest every month.
That's why I want to ask you. What is your definition? People always say pay yourself first. What is your definition of paying yourself, Ryan? Because I think people just have a demented philosophy of that. What is
What it
your
means,
definition?
what it means to me is that the investments are made, so outside of the real estate, like, before I take home money, I am putting it into the stock market. I am putting it into long-term mutual funds. I'm putting it into, then it goes down the list. Then it goes from there, it goes to 401k money. Then it goes to real estate.
So
Um,
basically, you're saying a part of just like on. In other words, are you saying it's kind of like on the richest man in Babylon? A part of what I earn is mine to keep.
mhm. It's a small part of it, So I think it took me a long time to learn about paying yourself first. Money compounds, and people don't really understand what that means. And so, if they knew the power of compounding money, they would invest a lot sooner. You
Oh
know, they
yeah,
would in,
no,
they would invest, and that's what I mean by paying yourself. Is if you're not investing right away, then you're not paying yourself. And just because you're taking
hmm,
home money, like, okay, my bills are 1,000 and I got 500 left over, I'm paying myself. I mean, that's like, okay, that's check to check.
yep,
So you got to get your cash flow up.
man, I remember. Yeah, I just had the epiphany maybe 4 years ago. Pay yourself first means, and for me, I get to keep some of it forever.
Forever, long
Yeah,
term growth, long
forever.
term
Not,
growth.
yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, it goes into principal pay down because I know I get to lock it up in the bricks and mortar.
Yeah, that's a great way. You do see, investing doesn't have to. We think differently. I
Hmm.
I use stock market. You use real estate.
Yep.
Neither one is right or wrong. It's just either way you do it. Like, okay, the house is worth 250,000, and I'm paying it down. That's paying yourself.
There you go.
Um, But you gotta do that in some capacity. It can't just be pay yourself because, you bought yourself a watch this month. That's just consumerism.
or sitting in the bank account waiting to be spent.
Waiting for an emergency.
Well, see, the thing with for me, and I want you to tell for you. I have for me, dude, real estate has saved me so many times, but it forces me. And I know once I mail that mortgage company that $1,000, I would
It ain't coming back.
never. Yes, I love it, but I used to hate it. Now I'm like, after reading that book, I'm like, the way he describes it, he's like, when you pay your house down, the money is literally transforming into the bricks and mortar.
Yeah. It's nuts, man. Like I get emails about the values of the properties, and when you watch them grow, you start realizing that money's not going away. That's why
Oh,
you got to find a way to stop being a renter for the rest of your life. And even if you're going to rent, which is not bad, you still need to own
something.
something that's going to appreciate in value.
I'm glad you said that. I love your philosophy about taking the extra money that you didn't pay for the car note when you're leasing and invest in the stock market or whatever market.
If you stay a consumer and keep buying cars like we all have done, it's just going
Hmm.
to take away your money.
Eroding.
Guarantee it.
They call it money erosion.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wonder.
that's the
Hmm,
thing. Like this computer, as long as below $5,000 for me, it's an expense that can be dealt with. You got to
yeah.
figure it out. But I know when I buy a computer, I'm never getting a dollar back for it. It's
Mm,
completely gone. The money's just gone. But you can't do that with everything that you have. Kids'
yeah.
college funds, um, whatever you're gonna fund. You got to fund something and watch it grow
That's right.
over
Endowment.
time.
Truly Gifted has a question for you, Ronnie. He wants to know, do you need a certain amount of cars and parking spots to be legally considered a dealership?
That's a great question. So in Colorado, they have laws to be a dealer, and that you just go down the checklist. But not one of those in the law is that we have a certain amount of cars available to the public.
Maybe you could go over that checklist
Uh,
one day, brother.
oh yeah, I can do that.
I like to
So if
hear
you
that.
want to be a dealer, I mean, it's easy. We just pull it up and read it line by line. It's not that hard.
Is that
But
something
so it
we can?
depends on where you live. If you every state has different laws. So you might have a law that says you have to have X amount of cars available, but we don't have that law here. Not that I'm aware of.
Mhm.
You have to have a brick and mortar building.
That's all over the country, I believe, isn't it?
I don't know. I know here you do, you know. So, but they got places in New York and places in San Francisco that they don't even have a car lot. It's just like a parking structure, like it's not really a parking. It's just, it is what it is. But you just have to check with your attorney general or go to the Secretary of State is where you want to go. Wherever city you're in, go to the Secretary of State for your state and go to the automotive section and look up the requirements to be a motor vehicle dealer.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I still like to hear the list on your side one day.
Yeah, we can pull it up. That's easy.
This thing is just off the chain. Good Lord. Okay, VA. My uncle owns a timeshare he can't get out of. I've seen people selling timeshares for $1.
Timeshares are not an investment. What? Who owns a timeshare they can't get out of?
Truly Gifted, his uncle or her uncle, I don't know.
I think that so when you say can't get out of, it's an interesting thing. Like, is it paid off or not? Like if you paid for it, then the only thing you're responsible to pay every year is the maintenance fees. Because we have one, and so it's like $700 a year. And so when people say they can't get out of it, it's like they can. You just walk away from it and it's over. I mean, you don't owe anything. It's you're done. You lose the ability to use that timeshare.
Hmm.
But um, if they're saying I can't get out of it because I can't sell it, then you're correct. They're not really sellable. They're not really long-term investments. They were sold in the 80s as long-term investments. They're not. They're just expenses, and they're a way to manage your money. You know, as far as you manage your spending.
Hmm.
So that's how we use it. You know, every year we got a week and a half, 2 weeks to go wherever, but it forces me to go places. We can never sell it. You know, I don't ever sell, I don't will it to the kids or whatever, but it's not sellable.
Gotcha. Well, I think I might have cut it over. I hear I think shit, it's 10:30. Everybody going to bed.
Cool, man.
What else I got? Shit, I can't. Oh yeah, I gotta cut it off. The class is 10:30, Ronnie. I love you, man. Anything else you want to leave for our viewers?
Um, no, man, I think it's nice catching up with you. It's been a very busy week. You know, been out of town, but I love you. I'm glad that you're going up there this weekend. Do you know when the funeral is?
I don't. I mean, mom didn't know anything, so I'll get all that tomorrow or
I'll
Saturday.
talk to mom too. That's fine. You know, um, end of an era, man. Carolyn, she was the matriarch of the Penn family.
Mhm. Okay, my
God rest
brother.
her soul.
Yep. Love you. Class roundup. I'll see you guys shortly. I'll talk to you tomorrow, attorney time at 3 o'clock with Jessica Siegel. Okay.
All right, man. Peace.